We're going to move forward from that situation to what Jonathan's following in Seattle. Jonathan, once again, the national media has descended on your fair city.
Yeah, it's been another wild couple weeks. Turning Point USA, big conservative media, now coming to Seattle. Savannah Hernandez, independent journalist, she reached out to me and said, "I want to know what's going on in Seattle because I'm following all your tweets, and I'm showing the raw realities on the ground with my coverage of the homeless crisis and the drug epidemic." So she came to see this for herself, and I was essentially her tour guide. And lo and behold, I did not disappoint. Rather, the city of Seattle did not disappoint. In the heart of downtown, the Chinatown International District, you have imagery of just urban decay, open air drug use, uh, urine bottles everywhere. And again, maybe it's an urban myth, but I know for a fact that the addicts tell me they, pee in bottles, hoping to, gather some of their, remnants from the fentanyl that they just took and maybe get a little high later on in the day. Regardless of whether or not that's an urban myth, they're doing it. That's a fact, and I stand by that. And Savannah saw it for herself. And we saw one guy digging through the trash looking for foil, hoping that he'd find either fentanyl or crack or meth or whatever. And it's just a sad scene in Seattle right now. And I think it was so important to have an outside perspective, right? I mean, you being in San Francisco, you see it in your own backyard as well. But I really see value in journalists coming from outside to really add another vantage point and lens. So that's what I really appreciated with Savannah's, journalism.
I mean, she has a different audience that she brings to the table. So, what was the perspective that she brought? I mean, when she goes to town, she's looking at, again, Seattle's supposed to be one of the crown jewels of this country. She walks around town with you. What is she seeing? What really took her aback?
Yeah, I think it was really the needles everywhere and the pipes, just people having access to harm reduction, quote unquote harm reduction toolkits. Look, in places like San Francisco, places like Seattle, they're all about giving out free needles. I'm all for harm reduction as well, in the sense that we don't want people getting diseases. We don't want people overdosing. But when you just hand out needles without getting them back, that's not a needle exchange. So what's happening with this harm reduction lobby, this multi-billion-dollar industry, the addicts aren't being required to go into treatment, or they're not being, monitored and helped. They just have free will choice. And in the meantime, these groups just keep on giving them brown bags full of needles, pipes, fentanyl strips, foil, all the tools to do drugs. And again, Savannah picked up on that and just was stunned that taxpayer dollars, millions of dollars, is going into this, but there's nothing really for intervention and that type of treatment, especially addiction and mental health treatment. So that those are some of the themes that she picked up on as well, and also just the filth, the trash, the garbage, the human feces everywhere. She was just shocked to see it. At blocks, minutes from City Hall, you have homeless encampments where just people are living this way.